So I have been working on a project for the past, well, I would say it's been like a lifelong thing. It's been deep down in my soul. I've been feeling it. I've been drawn to it, but I've never harnessed it. I've never actualized anything of it. And it is my love of the woods. Okay, my love of the forests. I have been wandering in the woods by myself ever since I was a little kid. Like some of my first memories are me wandering through the woods by myself, collecting things. I'm like some kind of little goblin, collecting sticks and flowers and all this weird shit, making friends with the local, wildlife in the woods. I've always been connected to my environment. It's something that I can't escape. And when I deprive myself of being in the natural world, when I stay inside for too long, when I don't go on walks regularly, I have become very depressed and irritable and mean and just not myself. And so the way that I help myself, the biggest way that I help myself, but with connecting through the woods, is through my apothecary work that I've been showing and sharing with you guys. Now, you guys, if you've been watching me for a while, you probably know that I am a lover of collecting bark. I have so many different types of bark. Like this corner right here is all bark, jars of bark from different parts of the world too. Because as you know, I have family in Alaska. I'm from Alaska, and so when I go up there, I always come home with like a suitcase full of bark and sticks and rocks and just anything else I could fit in there. And of course, around here where I live in Southwest Virginia, there is a lot of I have access to a lot of different types of trees and barks and woods that I normally would not have access to because they don't grow in Alaska. So, this project that I'm working on is this I'm gonna call it Witch's Woods. I want to so far I have got okay, so I want to collect as many barks as I can, barks from trees. Obviously I don't go to a live tree and rip the bark off of a live tree. That's awful. I take a bark or sticks that have already fallen on the ground and that are dead and dried up, or if I see somewhere like somebody has cut a tree down, I will, I'm an opportunist that way, and I seize the moment and go ask if I can have some of their bark or whatever. Or usually it's just like in the park or something, or, along the side of the road, and I'm able to take it. But never, ever, ever go up to a live plant and just take what you want, because not only are you going to hurt yourself, you're hurting all of the nature spirits that live in that tree and around that tree and thrive within that tree. So treat it like you wouldn't go up to somebody or a stranger, and just rip their skin off, would you? No, you wouldn't, so don't do it to a tree, okay? Now, there are caveats to that rule, such as if you grow the plant yourself, I don't see any harm in snipping a few branches off or something, or something like that. If the tree needs it, because if you know anything about gardening, you have to learn how to let things go and trim off the dead, let go of the excess. Otherwise, it's going to drag everything else down. So in that sense, I think it's okay to take from plants if you grow them and you put love and care into their well-being. I think you have the right then and there to take a few branches if you want, if you need so too. So right here, what I've got so far, I'm still collecting, obviously, and if you have access to some different types of wood, I'll put my address in the description, and you can send it to me. Send me a stick. Yes, send me a stick, please. If you have access to like hemlock or um, hazelnut or anything like that, any like thing that I don't have, you know. So right here I've got dogwood stems, I've got sycamore bark, cedar heartwood, pine bark, and birch bark. Down here, this is sage stems. Save everything of my plants. And the best thing about bark is you can cut the pieces up and use them as incense, because it's just like as you would use Palo Santo, because Palo Santo is a piece of wood. You just light it on fire. And actually some woods, like this pine wood right here, this is eastern white pine. All of the resin is kind of stored in the bark. There was a eastern white pine tree that fell up on the top of the hill here, and I cut it up into pieces, and you know, of course I'm leaving some in the yard for the local pileated woodpeckers, because they are attracted to fallen pine and stuff. And there is one that is around here, and he's really cute. But see how this just smokes, and it acts as a, not only is pine like bacterial, it's antimicrobial, antifungal. It has mood elevating properties. It's just like that, got that campfire smell, that pine wood. It smells delicious, and it can just do a lot of great things for your mood and your overall well-being. I would really highly suggest collecting some pine wood if you have access to it. You can just see, probably not, you guys probably can't see, but I can see the edges are just coated in this sap. So it's basically resin, which then keeps it kind of smoking and burning, and it smells so good. Remember, you always want to open your windows when you're smudging. So yeah, I've been having a lot of weird experiences in my house past few days, past week or so. A lot of things have been being touched, moved, been hearing a lot of things. And I've also been getting called to change my name. And I've always felt that Jennifer, my name is Jennifer if you did not know, I've always felt that Jennifer just didn't suit me as a person, you know. I used to have people call me Jen, but I just never thought that Jennifer suited me as a name. And lately I have been getting a message to change my name. So I'm going to be looking into that. I don't know if I'll tell you what I'll change it to, because you know, you can only have power over the things that you know their name, right? So if you know my full name, you could put a spell on me. You could, you know, put a curse on me, whatever. No, not going to happen. Not going to let that happen. And another thing, Mark and I, we were talking about moving in together recently. Because I told him, I said, you know, I want my relationship, I want and deserve a relationship where I am happy, where, you know, our lives are together, we are growing and learning together and being together. And if you can't be that for me, which I know he can't, then I think we need to go our separate ways. And so he, of course, tries to rearrange all these things and do things that he doesn't actually want to do, but he wants to do it to keep me. Thus, it's not going to work because he'll be unhappy and then he'll blame me. And so, I think that idea is off the table. And, you know, I think him and I have been together going on 12 years now, and I really do believe it's time for us to close that chapter of, you know, us. But I want to share with you guys this spoon that I made. Look how freaking cute. This is cedar heartwood. I use my Dremel tool when I make these. I will totally use the little tiny sanding barrel, the sanding barrel bit. And you can see it's about that wide right there, because I'll use it and I'll shape it, and then I'll sit there and use sandpaper and sand it, you know, for a few days usually with different grits of sandpaper. And then I use my wood balm over the top of it. And this is like the natural color of this wood. It was a really really red color. It's the heartwood, which is like the center of the stick, because usually with cedar, which is a form of juniper, the center of it is the reddest part. Well, it's the only red part really in the one I have, at least. And so the very center of the wood is this beautiful color, and I was able to extract this beautiful spoon out of a little chunk of cedar that I had. I am going to decorate it. I'm thinking about gilding it with some silver. I think it would contrast really nicely with the red wood. So I don't know yet, guys. But I just wanted to share this little project with you guys, share a couple things that I've been doing. I also I did post a picture of this on, I think my Facebook or Instagram, I can't remember. But it is just a little diorama, you know, little scene. This is a box my glasses came in. Of course, you know, you get those really good boxes. You're like, man, I want to keep that, but you never do anything with it. I always do stuff with those boxes. I always make these little scenes in them. I love to make these little things. And these are just some clay mold from some molds that I have. Liquid clay that I poured in the molds. Tree I made from clay. And it's got a little tiny door with some stairs. It's on a little platform that I intend to decorate some more. I'm still gonna like put a little bit more stuff on the top, possibly. Oh, my little owl fell. Got a little owl in there with the witch hat on. A little mushroom I made from a skewer. I know you can't see it, but there is a little tiny chair down in there. So yeah, that's very cute. I made that. So let me show you another thing that I made. Finished yesterday. So this is a bed spring that I've been holding on to, oh, I don't know, for years, you guys. And I knew I wanted to make some type of hanging contraption with it, but I just couldn't figure it out how, you know, what I wanted to do. And these are all beads that I've had in my stash for quite a while. And this is just a beaded half moon. It's a piece of wood that I had cut. It's like a scrap piece of wood that I sewed a piece of fabric onto, which then gave me a sewable surface. And so it's covered in beads, you can see, like front to back. So that took me 3 full days to bead. And then I made this tassel with a bunch of beads, like I said, that were just in my stash for too long. And yeah, I think it turned out really cool. It will look really cute I'm gonna add a little bit more beads to the top, this part right here. But it is very shimmery and it reflects the light in the sun and it looks very beautiful. So that's another thing that I made. And I've also been making these guys. Sorry, this has just turned into like a show and tell of the things recently that I've been making. I really wish that I could like turn the camera on when I think of things like this, but I get so sucked into the moment with the inspiration that I just completely forget. But I do have some more of these if you want me to show you how I made this. It is a little shoddy, but that's because I couldn't pour the wax properly. But this is a hag torch. This is a mullein flower stalk that I harvested over the summer, and it is covered in beeswax. There is a candle wick wrapped around into the flower stalk, so it will be able to like stay lit when I set it on fire. I plan to set this on fire on Yule, and we will do that together. We'll have us a little ritual on Yule, and we will burn our hag torch. So if you want to make one of these with me, if you want me to show you guys how to make these, I will definitely do that. So we can all burn ours together and in solidarity, you know. What was that? That was a piece of quartz. Just jumped off that shelf. I mean, obviously I bumped it, but I've bumped this before and nothing has ever done that. Anyway, so if you guys want to see a video on how to make these hag torches, they're very simple, and you don't have to make one this tall. You could probably cut these in half and make two, but we can burn them on the solstice and leave them burning outside throughout the day, and you know, connect with each other. Our spiritual flames will be alit. If you want to do that with me, let me know, and I'll definitely oh wow, you guys, look. Okay, sorry, I get distracted, but I'm you know, it's like we're hanging out. We're just two pals chilling, hanging out, you know, shooting shit. But I want to show you guys something I just noticed. Let me hang my stuff back up here. So first, I have all of these morning glory or moonflower seeds. Look at all those pods. Okay, and I've got some of these. These are the cypress cones that from the Carolina Sapphire Cypress I just bought. They won't open until the limb is dead, so I pulled a little branch off. I also was able to score some of these really beautiful, I think these are spruce cones. I'm not too sure. If you know what kind of cones these are, let me know. It was a really big, dark green evergreen. It was kind of weepy. It was beautiful. And it's full of seeds. So I'm going to be planting those. I was able to get 3 of those. Mark actually harvested those for me. But what I wanted to show you, my cotton over here. Look at it. It's all opening up. I had to harvest it before that frost so I could save the cotton so it wouldn't rot. And they've been hanging up over here, just the whole entire plant, look. Just the whole plant's hanging back there, along with the whole bunch of amaranth that I want to save to do stuff with. But the cotton, I just don't even pay attention to it. But I really want to make some little figurines with that cotton, if I can stand to touch it. But yeah. Maybe we caught some spirits. Let's see if we can catch some spirits. Here's a little candle that I'm doing. This is a little bit of candle magic. Just did some runes on the top and put my intention on the edges here. Let me make sure this is in focus. Okay, perfect, perfect. call on spirits in the spirit realm, ancestors, spirit guides, higher self. Send a sign that you're here with us. Show yourself or make a noise. Did you guys hear that? Okay, thank you for that. So are you guys as excited for the eclipse coming up here soon on Friday? Today is Thursday, I think. So tomorrow. It's a full moon and an eclipse. So if you are in the eastern United States, I think is where you'll be able to see it. At around midnight. Of course, I will take you guys out there and we will look at it together. I have seen so many astronomical events happen in this very house. I watched my first solar eclipse in this house. Like full solar eclipse. Like it had been a while since one had happened over the United States, and when it happened in 2017, I was able to like charge crystals under it and all kinds of really nice stuff. I've been in this house for countless lunar eclipses, and it's just, you know, I feel connected, protected, and loved. I do feel loved. So I try to exude love, you know, I try to, instead of focusing on negative things, I try to focus on things to be grateful for. I have so much to be grateful for. We all do. Even if you're like in a low point, you could still, no doubt, find something to be grateful for. And keeping that attitude is what gives you more you start to see more of what there is to be grateful for, thus bringing more of that in. Instead of focusing on, oh man, this isn't going right, or I wish, you know, it's like instead of trying to manifest by saying I wish, I hope, you know, things like that, think about things as if they are already yours. Think about things like, oh, I'm like, go through your house at night and say, oh, I'm so grateful for my fabulous, connected, loving life with an amazing partner, and all this land I get to go wandering on, and all my animals that I get to tend to every day and feel so connected to. That's what I do. And I'm slowly, it doesn't happen overnight, but slowly, step by step, you get there. And that's what it takes to change, is to change the steps, change the everyday mundane things that you think don't matter, because those are the only things that matter, really. It is a like gloomy, super gloomy, rainy day. Great day to go in and do some shadow work, you know? Even if it's sunny. That's why in the winter I'm better able to pull out a lot of creativity, because I'm more within naturally. I'm more in my own self. Whereas in the summer, I'm like, I get up, the first thing I do is go right outside into the garden and start working, and like I work all day long. And it's good for me. That's great. That's what everything else is doing. And so it's the same for winter. You have to look at winter the same way. Winter is asking you, that's probably why you feel sad, or a lot of us feel sad or unproductive in the winter, but that's what you need. You need that. We all need it. The earth is doing it. Allow yourself to slow down, go within, and just sit in there, feel all the feelings, you know, ruminate over all of them and then just spew them out through any way, any means possible. Writing, music, art, dance, anything. So go down into your depths. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next video.